Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Today we're going to continue working or talking about pen testing tools. There's a lot of options that we can use with NMAP. So I'm probably not going to talk about all of them in my course here, but definitely I will try to cover as much as I can when I start doing the labs, which is probably today's the 14th of March of 2023. So maybe in about a day or two, I'll have my because I had to redo all of my lab settings. So I will probably have it ready in about a day or so. So today it's my last talk. Just the definitions and options about Nmap. I mean, there's a lot more. I mean, whew, you know. So we'll try to cover as much as I can here, but it's not complete, definitely, not by far. So let's begin. So again, in case you guys haven't seen my face in in YouTube, that's me. And today we'll be talking about identifying host attributes, scripts, Nmap, believe it or not, has scripts, and also bypassing firewalls, which what I said, it's by far everything. I mean, there's lots and more options. So here we go. Nmap scripting. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a definition. Nmap scripting refers to the use of Nmap's scripting engine to automate and extend the functionality of Nmap beyond its basic port scanning capabilities. Nmap scripting allows you to use a variety of scripts written in Lua programming language to automate tasks such as network discovery, vulnerability detection, and exploitation. Nmap scripting engine provides a flexible and extensible framework for writing and sharing scripts that can be used to perform a wide variety of tasks. The scripts can be used to automate repetitive tasks, identify potential security issues, or even gather information from a network. The Nmap scripting engine works by allowing scripts to be executed at different stages of the Nmap scan. Interesting. Scripts can be run before or after the port scan, or during the scan itself. This allows a wide range of capabilities, including banner grabbing, operating system detection, and even exploitation of vulnerabilities. All right. So hope that if you guys didn't understand that, you go through it again so that you can understand what Nmap scripting is. So um, I am going to give you the different options that I have prepared today, but it's not by any means in any order. You can do it in any order that you want. So the first one is identifying host attributes with Nmap. So the target here, or the first step, is to identify the target host. So you want to determine the IP address or host name of the target host you want to scan. See, right now we're not doing passive scanning anymore, remember? We're doing active scanning. So the next one, point number 2, basic host discovery. Use the dash small letter S N option to perform a basic host discovery scan, which will identify hosts that are alive and responding to ping requests. And then you have an example. Okay, so you have nmap dash sn and the IP address or the target IP. The next one, identify open ports. Use the dash p, small letter p, option to specify which ports to scan for open services. For example, you can scan for common TCP ports using the command nmap-p space 1-1000 space target IP or the IP address. So this will scan for the first 1000 ports on the host, your target host. Number 4, identify operating system. Use the -O, that is small letter O, option to perform operating system detection on the target host. For example, you can use the following command: nmap-o and the IP address or the target IP. This will attempt to identify the operating system running on the target host based on various network characteristics. Number 5, identify service versions. Use the small letters SV as in Victor option to identify the version of services running on open ports. For example, you can use the following command: nmap-s that's V. Oh, I'm sorry. So it was small letter S, capital V. My bad. So it will be nmap-s capital V as in Victor space -p, and you will specify the ports. Now you want 3 ports. You'll go port, let's for example port 22, 80, 443 space target IP. This will identify the version of the SSH, HTTP, and HTTPS services running on the target host. So that will give you the services of those 3 ports. Nice. Number 6, use NMAP scripts. Right? So NMAP has a number of built-in scripts that can be used to identify specific host attributes, such as HTTP-title for identifying the title of HTTP pages, or SMTP-enum-users for enumerating email addresses. So you can use the -- script option to specify which scripts to run. For example, you can use the following command to identify the title of HTTP pages on the target host: nmap-p space 80 space -- script HTTP title space the target IP. By using these scanning options and scripts, you can identify a variety of host attributes, including open ports, operating system, service version, and more. This information can be useful in identifying potential security risks and vulnerabilities on the target host. Interesting. So now, basic NMAP scripts. So understanding NMAP scripts. NMAP has a number of built-in scripts that can be used to automate tasks and gather information about a target system. You can view a list of available scripts by running the following command: nmap space -- script -help, and you can hit enter and you will get the different commands or the list of variable scripts that you can use. All right. Select a script. Once you have a list of available scripts, you need to select one that you want to use. For example, if you want to scan for open ports on the target system, you can use the nmap space small s capital S command. Next one, run the script. To run the script, you simply need to enter the appropriate command into your terminal or command prompt. For example, if you want to scan for open ports using the nmap -s capital S command, you would enter the following command: nmap space -s and capital S space target IP. Okay, meaning the target IP is the IP address of that system that you want to do the scan or run the scan against. Interpret the results. Once the scan is complete, you will see a list of open ports and services running on the target system. You can use this information to identify vulnerabilities and weaknesses in the system. Next, interpret the results. Once the scan, next is customize scripts. NMAP allows you to customize scripts by adding your own code. You can create your own scripts and add them to NMAP's library of scripts to use in future scans. I think what I'll do is once I run scripts, I think I will show you how to create your own script, because I think this is really important to know, so because I just realized that I forgot to add this, I will have to show you how to create your own scripts with the NMAP. Okay, so moving on, a few more NMAP scripts. HTTP headers. The HTTP header script is used to extract HTTP headers from a web server. This can be useful for identifying web server software and version information, as well as identifying potentially vulnerable web application. Okay, to run the HTTP header script, you can use the following command: nmap space -p space 80 space -- script space http -headers space target IP. FTP anonymous login script. The FTP-anon script is used to check whether anonymous login is allowed on an FTP server. This can be useful for identifying potential security risks. And there's the example. I'm not going to read it out loud, but you can see it. I just highlighted it there. So you can run it once you have. I hope that you already know how to install or how to start NMAP in your Kali Linux. Or I'm not sure if you have tried to install it on Windows. Yeah, you can install it on Windows if you're wondering. Next one, vulnerability scanning script. The vuln script is used to identify known vulnerabilities in the target system. This can be useful for identifying potential security risks and weaknesses. Interesting. So here's again, I'm going to highlight it for you to run the vulnerability scanning script. So go ahead and do it. You're going to give it a try. Again, in the lab section, we're going to try all this, right? Number 4, SMB, server message block, enumeration script. The SMB-enum-shares script is used to enumerate shared folders on a Windows SMB server. This can be useful for identifying potential vulnerabilities in access control issues. So there it is, guys. Again, highlighting it so you can try it and run it and see what you get. These are just a few examples of NMAP scripts that you can use. NMAP has a large library of built-in scripts that you can use to gather information about a target system and identify potential security risks. All right, next one, basic bypassing firewall. Wow, look at that. It's even capable of doing that. Number 1, identify firewall rules. Okay, so you will need to identify the firewall rules that are in place on the firewall. You can use tools like NMAP, HPing3, or Netcat to send packets to the target system and see which ones get blocked by the firewall. This will help you identify the ports and protocols that are being blocked. In the lab, again, I repeat myself, or sorry for repeating myself, but the tools that are mentioned, HPing3, Netcat, will also, we're going to use them in the lab. So I'm going to have plenty of labs, maybe too many labs, but definitely. And it's for my own educational purposes as well. Number two, use NMAP to bypass the firewall. NMAP has a number of options and scripts that you can use to bypass firewalls. For example, you can use the --source port option to specify a source port that is allowed through the firewall. Or you can use the --data option to send data in a way that is less likely to be detected by the firewall. Number three, test different options. You will need to test different options and scripts to see which ones work best for bypassing the firewall. For example, you can use the --MTU option to fragment packets and make them less likely to be detected by the firewall. Or you can use the --bad sum option to generate packets with bad checksums. That may be allowed through the firewall. Document your findings as you test different options and scripts. So you should document your findings and record which ones are most effective in bypassing the firewall. This will help you to develop a more effective penetration testing methodology in the future. It is important to note that bypassing firewalls without permissions is illegal and unethical. You should only attempt to bypass firewalls in a lab environment with the explicit permission of the system owner. Additionally, you should always take steps to minimize the impact of your testing and ensure that it does not cause harm to the target system or other systems on the network. Alright guys, don't forget that. Okay, bypassing a firewall. We continue. Number one, port scanning. Firewalls are designed to block unauthorized access to network ports. So the first step in bypassing a firewall is to perform a thorough port scan of the target network. You can use the -P option with NMAP to scan for open ports on the target host. For example, you can scan the first 1,000 ports, which we already talked about. So you can be nmap -p -1 and the IP address. So this will help you identify any open ports that may be used to bypass a firewall. Number two, firewall evasion techniques. NMAP has several built-in firewall evasion techniques that can be used to bypass firewall rules. These techniques include fragmentation, decoy scans, and source port randomization. For example, you can use the following command to perform a decoy scan. nmap capital D capital R N D :10 target IP. This will send packets from 10 random IP addresses to confuse the firewall and make it more difficult to detect the scan. Interesting. Number three, TCP and UDP scanning firewall. TCP and UDP scanning, Firewalls often block TCP and UDP traffic on certain ports, so it's important to scan for both types of traffic. You can use the -S option with NMAP to perform a TCP send scan, which sends a send packet to the target port and waits for a response. Alternatively, you can use the -S option to perform a UDP scan, which sends a UDP packet to the target port and waits for a response. For example, you can use the following command to scan for open TCP ports. nmap --S -P -1 -1000 target IP. And you can see it here online on the screen. What you can do. Alright. Number four, NMAP scripts. NMAP has several built-in scripts that can be used to bypass a firewall. For example, the firewalk script can be used to identify firewall rules and potential weaknesses, while the FTP-bound script can be used to bypass firewalls that blocked FTP traffic. You can use the --script option with Nmap to run these scripts. For example, firewalk script, right? Running this type of script, Nmap --script space firewalk space target IP. Huh, interesting. And I think I already repeated myself with scripts, running scripts, right? HTTP and all that, and so guys, this is something that you have to memorize and go through, because if you're thinking of taking the CompTIA Pentest Plus or any other penetration testing certification, I do advise you to learn Nmap, Wireshark. It's important to know Netcat, let's say Python. It's really important for you to know, because if you're going to be a penetration tester, you really need to know all these different environments, and at the same time you need to be up to date with your networking, administration, support, and training and knowledge about TCP/IP, the OSI model, supporting switches, routers. Know the difference. Know the all the 7 layers of the OSI. Know exactly how networking itself does really operate. Like the last time I said, I recommended for you to study CCNA and specifically ICND1. You can study the whole thing ICND2 also. I mean, it doesn't matter nowadays. I think there's no more ICND1 and ICND2, but it's just one CCNA certification. But you don't have to take the certification, but take the course, take the training, so that when you come to this field, you really know what you're doing and what you're getting into. Penetration testing is not for the weak at heart. You must be up to date every day. You have to be studying constantly, because hackers will never stop. So if you think you learn something today and that's it, no, you have to keep going. You have to keep innovating, see what you can come up with yourself. Also, what kind of attacks do you think they're going to have? I mean, do you need tools? Can you come up with new tools, etc.? So try really, I would say, before you even think about becoming a penetration tester, take the CompTIA Plus, the CompTIA Security Plus. Definitely that's going to be a great help. And if you have any other questions or anything that you think that you might need, or that you don't know what you might need, you can always send it to me. So anyways, guys, thank you for your time, and until next time, hopefully I'm gonna have my lab up and running, so we can start doing the real tests or the real work. All right, no more theory. Thank you.